Hello. Just wanted to make another video too. Because my other one got cut short. Sorry about that. But yeah. So I was watching the movie Legend last night, and noticed something interesting, and how like Tim Curry, who played the demon Darkness. Darkness would probably be in my book Abaddon because darkness, and he's a real interesting motherfucker. He doesn't look like a big red guy. Nah. There's actually only two that are like big red with horns like that. Just FYI, have people out there that know. And but yeah. So his enemy is Apollyon, who's the sun. So, and we all know that, but we can all Google it and pretty much anyway. Anyway, but yeah. Interesting factor though is that, you know, these entities that are opposite of each other, that are enemy to each other, you know, um, what you read in the story tales, it's not what it is. So there's more information out there, and it's information that makes sense, you know. So anyway, I wanted to also mention a dream I've had, just to explain this, because Darkness was saying in the beginning, when there was complete darkness, and all of a sudden this light happened, and they all were afraid of the light. The darkness was afraid of the light, and the darkness ran because it was so scared. And it reminded me of a dream, but I don't think it's a dream. I think it's more of a memory. I really don't know, because sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference between dreams and memories in my mind, because I have all this information and I can see it all. But um, anyway, I was in the darkness, complete darkness. It was like there was no light yet, and I was surrounded by all these other gods of darkness and stuff, and we were all familiar with each other. So one day, I blew a bubble in the water, in the waters, because, all right, look, the waters were created by just, compression, just by movement of flowing through in between. You have movement, and you have like, create this density of one form or the other, right? And I don't know if it was really water. That's just a metaphor of, you know, just a film. Anyway, I blew a bubble in this film, and I sang to it, because everything was just vibration and frequency. There was no light. So, and the bubble popped inside of this water. And of course, when you pop a bubble in the water, it creates a light, and it's sort of kind of like, it's not scientifically explained yet. They're like kind of still baffled about how this happens, but but I did do that, and it created this spark, boop, 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 you know, just like do, 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 do. And the monsters and the darkness was like, "Fuck that shit! Don't ever do that shit again!" And blah blah blah. And I was like, "Why are you scared of a little stupid light?" I was like, "What the fuck?" And they were just like seriously afraid of it. So I decided, you know, to go way the fuck over there where they could probably not see it, you know, and start blowing more balls of water, create more light. And the ones that were interested, there was one that came that was interested, and we studied the light, and we looked at the light, and it was actually an interesting conversation. Like, wow, wow, holy crap, and wow. It's like, it was an interesting dream indeed, just saying, you know. Um, it's like when we were there, we had eyes to see, but we didn't see through them. We used them as just tools of knowledge and reading. It's vision, like a different mind vision, but different sort of vision. And It's just like the eyes on our palms and the eyes in our third eye and you know, it's just that these eyes are on the outside of our heads, it's just different. Um, yeah, so anyway, it's interesting, um, what I could do with the seeing of these timelines, I could just kind of, the Lucy movie where she just kind of just goes, "Doo, doo, 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 doo," you know, I do that quite often. I just sit there and and I've been doing this since I was a kid too, just going, "Doop, doop, doop," and through the matrix and stuff. Um, Now, I heard this is something really weird, very, very fucking weird. And since this whole matrix and timelines in my mind as a god or whatever, the light, it's hard to explain. Very hard to explain, but um and I can see it all. Now, while I was in prison in my cage, um it was and like even after I got out and I didn't realize this until I realized it. But it's like the witches and the psychic users and stuff like that. They were creating their own timeline in my mind, in my brain, and it's because I'm like this huge thing. And that's how they fucking were doing all this stuff. This is why a lot of bad people were getting away with good things, and that this is another reason why like a lot of the evil are doing this feeding off the light and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, so forth, and how they are creating men to be stupid enough to do the stupid things that they do, like war and stuff like that. Like there's no free will and stuff like that. There's this cage and this box that people are in, and what they were doing is they were putting false light onto the timeline in the mind of God, which is me, and fucking with my head. Basically, giving me false memory and false prophecy to follow and false, written things in the future written in the books that was written wrong. It was written by them. It was written how they wanted humanity and everything to come in for them and not for you. So, I don't know if this makes sense, but those two stories really go together in some sort of way or fashion form. So, anyway, and it was when I did realize it, oh my god. I cut that shit off so fast, man. I was like, well, no. No, I see exactly what's going on now. Nope. It took a real big calculation to figure it out. And it took it took God and many fucking angels to help me figure that out, because it was real. And I know it's like it doesn't sound like it's the spiritual God thing, but I know it's like you guys probably couldn't understand something like that as fathomable, but just think of it as what it is, not who it is or physics, and science instead of, if we were to think of it that way through the torus line in the field and everything like that, blah, 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 etc. It's a lot easier to understand, when it doesn't come from a deity. Anyway, but still, it is what it is. There is a spirit and a God to everything that's out there. Anyway, but so yeah, darkness and the witches and stuff in the beginning of time and stuff like that. They just been trying, but when I got put in that box, man, I know that's pretty much around the Dark Ages times, So they really did some shit to fuck y'all up, man. I swear to God. It was like, if you look at what happened, like when they banned God Bless You, Merry Gentlemen, when they hid everything from you, when they took away the will of the divine feminine, and only it was only masculine, and there's all this to it that's just extreme, very extreme. Anyway, it's a God thing. I don't know if I expect anybody to really understand, but um, I hope I explained it well enough. In a sense. um, yeah, it's just kind of like I got in trouble. I'm like, if you really think about it, like mischievous. I am very mischievous, just that I am in nature, that's what I am. And my mischievous ass self decides to like and just say, "Fuck yeah, you tell me not to do something, well, I'm gonna do it," you know. And but I'll just go be respectful and do it way the fuck over there. But darkness was still like, "No, don't do it. It's scary." I can see myself, you know, kind of like Adam and Eve, you know. It's like, oh God, I can see myself. Oh God, I'm naked. Yeah. I think there is a massive twist behind that, you know. And that's how really weak they really are. So, anyway, they wanted this light to be gone, and it's not going to happen, you know. And it's really weird that it's like the maggot alien things that feed off the light. They want the light to be here so they can feed off of it. But the darkness doesn't want the light to be here because it's darkness and it wants to go back to the way it was with just no light at all, or no love at all. No, nothing like this at all, you know. But so that's them to find that out, you know. And here we got us being like we're the light, or the light bearers, you know, like me, the light carriers. And we're like, um, well, we're the tug of war between these two, and we are, you know, the ones that are actually more awesome because we don't have to feed off the light because we are the light, and or they are the light. But I am what I am, and I'm not doing that kind of shit because I exist as what I am, you know. So, but still, anyway, I hope that brings some sort of clarity to anybody out there about what's going on for real. This is my gift to you, just a little something of what's going on. Anyway, I love you guys. And like I've been saying, man. All right. Thank you.